Hello guys, you are welcome to my channel. Today my name is Tessie and I welcome you to yet another very interesting video. I discovered that you like stories and I have so many stories to share, so I thought to share this with you. I pray that by the end of the day I won't be emotional and cry, because sometimes I cry while even thinking about it, but then I know that today I'll be strong to share with everybody. Please, if this is your first time of being here, kindly click on the subscribe button and click on the bell icon so you are notified whenever I upload new videos. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you are a returning subscriber also, this is always for you because you are so amazing. Thank you for always coming back to this channel to watch my videos. I really appreciate your support. I thank you so much. So as I said earlier, I said that today's video is going to be a story, and I want to share my life with you, my struggles as a girl who lost her father in her early adulthood stage. So this particular story, I am sharing it so that those that are out there and are experiencing this, you know that my heart goes out to you. And to those who have never experienced this, I just thought that if you watch this video, you will learn better ways to deal with people that are out there, because our experiences have a way of affecting us emotionally. So if you have a better idea of who a person is, you develop a better way of dealing with that person or dealing with those people. So back to my story. I am the first child of my parents, and I grew up being very close to my father, who I think was more involved in his children's lives. He wants to know what is happening around you. He wants to know what you're doing academically, especially when it has to do with books. He wants to know, he wants to be there. So I grew up with a father that was very engaging. I'll say this clearly here again, to appreciate his efforts. Since I grew up, I have never seen my mom attended my PTA meeting. My father attended all my PTA meetings, and at a point he was even the PTA chairman in my primary school. I remember that clearly. So I appreciate that, and I appreciate every father out there that has been doing this kind of things. It is not that the other parents that are not involved like this are not good. They are absolutely amazing. Sometimes this might be because of the nature of their jobs, but then I would like to say that I was fortunate that my father leveraged on the kind of job he had, and he used the opportunity to always be there at the times that he was free. So now I want to go back to the story. I said my father had always been engaged and involved in most of the things that we were doing. Then at a point when I was becoming wiser, my mom went back to the school, and it wasn't the kind of school that she would be at home. So she would mostly leave the house, stay in the school for maybe 2 weeks before coming home for weekends. This means that we would always be with our father most of the times. I think that also cemented the relationship. So I grew up having more contact with my father than it was with my mother. Then also, to add to it, my mom is introverted. So she's this type of person that is very withdrawn, very reserved. And you know, as children, you want to play around, you want to do some of these things. Did not really excite her. I remember my father would go out and play with us. There was a day I wrote something on Facebook and someone came, I couldn't really trace him, and he said that, yeah, I can't forget your father. He used to be Baba Me Jakulikuli. That is in Hausa, which means a father that tickles. My father used to be that kind of father that would play around him and he would tickle us, you know, that kind of fun play. So I had my friends where we grew up that would come to the house, and whenever my father was around, we'll follow him, we'll be dancing, we'll be singing Baba Me Jakulikuli, Baba Me Jakulikuli, and he would do as if he didn't see us. Then at the point he would turn, you know, those kind of fun moments. So that was how it was for me. Many of my friends would love to come around, and he was not the very harsh kind of father. He was the type that was very strict on this hand, and also approachable on the other hand, though there was still a balance. You dare not do anyhow. Even when I said that my mom is introverted, there were times she would talk about something, times without number, I wouldn't do it. But when our father, when we hear that he is close to the house, in fact, when you just hear the key, cling, 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 you know that this person has come home, then you would adjust and begin to do the right thing. So he balanced everything. Now, why am I sharing this background story? Because I am talking about the impact of his demise on me, and also I think on my siblings, but I am talking about myself because I know that every one of us had his own personal experience, and I was far older than them. I was a person that had experienced most of the trainings and whatever is expected from anybody in the house. This is why I'm sharing from my own perspective. Some of my siblings had little contact with him, like our last born, I think she was barely 2 when he died, so her encounter with him wasn't much. So I have to talk about this from my own point of experience. Back to the story. I am that girl that was highly ambitious. I wanted so much. I wanted a lot of things, and my father liked it. I had talked about the things I wanted to achieve when I grew up, and my father was very aware of them. My father was an educationist and a very intelligent one at that. So anything that had to do with books was what interested him most. So if you tell him that you want to study here and there, especially if it is something fantastic, he would always root for you. At a point, I think I started developing interest for books, and my father noticed that. So he became more interested in whatever I was doing and would always want to know what was happening. Also, my father was this kind of person that didn't want to take chance. He wanted to be sure that your friends are spiritually good, your friends are academically good and morally good. Sometimes my father would just sit down and call you, Stacy. You will come. You will think that there's something he wants to tell you. He will tell you, who are your friends? I've not seen your friends. I want to see them. When I was in my SS2, I remember that most of my friends, both male and female, would visit our house. I had to make sure they were coming, and when they come to the house, you will see my father very open. He will come out and be relating with them. You wouldn't know why he was relating with you. He was trying to know if you are mentally okay, if you have character, if you are morally sound, and that also helped me. He was very particular about this. So some of my friends will always say, hey, I like your father. Your father is very accommodating. Your father is very nice. He was looking for something. Sometimes I would go for something. My father would have sent someone to go and ask, how did she talk? How was her expression? How was this? How was that? When you come back in the night, when it is time for prayer, you will say, okay, I was very impressed when I was told that you behaved this way and you acted this way. So I was this kind of person that was always careful whenever I went out, because I didn't know who was doing the assignment for him. So this is the kind of father I had. I'm not saying that it was very, very perfect. There were times that I misbehaved. My father beat that misbehavior out of me, but he would never beat more than 2 or 3 strokes of canes. Any other thing would be punishment. And as I told you, he was very strict and principled. Sincerely speaking, I am grateful to him for all the things he did in my life. I'm sorry that I became emotional, because I am grateful to him for all the things that he has done in my life. I am grateful that he was this kind of father that was watching. It is not that my mom was not really, but he took up the assignment, and my mom did not really have much to do again. He was practically there at almost every time, and I'm sincerely grateful. When we lost our father, many people were scared. They were like, since our father had gone, we would begin to misbehave, because it is known that the father is always the one that is helping to stabilize some things in the home. But sincerely speaking, it was a totally different case in our own instance. I remember one of my mom's cousins, my auntie, I call her my auntie, she one day told me that at a point point she began to admire us even more than her children, because she did not understand how we were still behaving okay after our father's demise. But I will say this, that my father really did the assignment, especially on me, and at many intervals I had promised my father I would never do most of the things that he frowned at. Before I forget, my father was the kind of person that disciplined many people's children. I remember that at some point we had people that were living with us, many people living with us. Some of them moved into our house because they were tagged to be very stubborn, and he handled them appropriately. I remember there was a day he was punishing one of the ladies that was living with us. I can't forget, he used that wooden ruler and was hitting the back of her hands. I asked him, why are you beating her? Then he said something. He told me, I don't want to say it here. Then he told me what she did. And he looked at me and he said, the day you do this nonsense, you will never like me in your life. That day I told him, I promise you I will not do it. So after my father's demise, I still remember those times I made those promises to my father that I wouldn't do those things he didn't like. And I had to keep to them. I had to remain committed to them. Some of my friends that watch this video now, they will understand why I was very adamant to some things. I was very strict. I was this kind of person that if I say it is A, it is A. No matter how you want to change it, if it is going to tamper with my vow, I will not. I will never, ever, ever, ever follow what you suggest for me. And I will tell you politely, it wasn't because some of the suggestions were bad, but I analyzed many of the suggestions and I discovered that if care is not taken, sometimes they will make me go out of my vow. So I decided to stick to what I felt will help me remain committed to what I wanted to achieve. To God's glory, God helped me through them, and I was able to pull my siblings along the line. It wasn't easy. It was challenging for both I and my siblings and my mother, and it was hard. Now, coming back to the story, I said I'm sharing my struggles as a girl who lost her father. Now, I had to give the background story so that I can link it to my struggle. I told you initially that my mom is introverted. My mom is very calm. And most of the activities that we saw many people's mothers did, my father stepped into them and did them effortlessly. So after his demise, they became strange. A lot of things were strange to my mom. She did not know how to put in A and B. I told you my mom is introverted. I, on the other hand, I am more extroverted. But because I have been trained by an introverted mother, you would mostly meet me as introverted when I am outside. But if I get to know you and I'm more familiar with you and I understand you better, I am very free, very lively, and very jovial around you, right? So this is how it was for me. Then, because my mom was very introverted, I was trying to see how I would balance her kind of personality and the kind of personality I've built from relating with my father. It was quite challenging because she was very withdrawn. My mom did not have many people like friends. You already know that introverted people do not surround themselves with many people. We only knew that it was all about her business, the church, the home front, and our father. That was all. So after our father's demise, it was affecting her. I think it affected her mentally because it was hard. Oh my God, it was hard. So that was my experience. That was the first place I started struggling. It was very hard finding a way to balance the relationship between I and my mom. She was always angry. She was always sad. She was always crying. It was hard. She would not even express her pains to you, and already I knew that she has been introverted, so it was very, very challenging for me. The second aspect of struggle for me was finance. Before my father's demise, I said that my mom had been in the school, and barely 4 months to his demise was when she completed her studies. And within those 4 months, she was not even working. It was after the demise that she started working, and she was even teaching. So the income wasn't that much, and that was when I even enrolled for my undergraduate program. I started my 100 level. So it was quite challenging. It was quite hard. I will tell you that it was hard, but I applaud my mom because she sponsored me throughout my university. There was no relative, there was no uncle, nobody. I knew that anytime I wanted to pay my school fees, my mom had a bank account that she would always save anything small there to meet up with my studies. And I also want to appreciate my mom that it was a hard thing, something that she has not been doing. She picked up the roles. Some of my siblings were in school. One of the things she told us was that, I can't forget that day, her prayer is that God will give her the strength so she can maintain the quality of education that our father was giving us. And to the glory of God, she didn't pull any of my siblings from the schools they were attending. God helped her and she kept pushing. She was doing more businesses, and some of my siblings had to join her to support her in the business. So most of my tuition fee came from her business, not really her salary. Whenever there is free time for them to do some businesses, she would do those businesses, get the money and take it to a bank that was very far from our location. I learned this from her, and she will never touch that money till you're ready to go back to school. I can't remember for any day that when it is time for me to resume school, my mom would tell me that there is no money for your tuition fee. No. Immediately I was back from the school, finishing a session, she will ask me, do you have an idea of your next year's tuition fee? So she will know how much she will need to add on it, or if she has already met up the benchmark she needed to get for my studies. I really want to appreciate my mom for all the efforts. She is really a strong woman. May God continue to reward her. May God continue to bless her. If there is anything that my father should be proud of, is that the job he left behind, my mom continued it. The next one I want to share, or the next struggle I want to share, is the struggle of finding myself again. Just as I told you before, that I grew up with my father, so I had more confidence in myself. I am not that type of girl that you will meet on the road, and just because you told me that you're looking beautiful, or even if I'm not looking beautiful, just because you said you're looking beautiful to deceive me, then I will go and will not sleep in the night. It has never happened to me. My father talked everything. He mentioned all these things, and he told us how your beauty is in how industrious, how hardworking, how you are able to keep yourself. So it was never a thing for me that a man will do something to make my head go somehow. It is not because I was a child of God or spiritual person. No, it is from the place of upbringing and how my self-esteem was built by my father. So I am just that kind of person. I grew up with that kind of mindset. I saw my father live it and I practiced it. So after I lost my father, I understood that many of those things that I was very confident in, that I believed myself to be, were because of the covering of my father. So I was very confident in achieving what I wanted to achieve because I felt that my father will always be there. I was very confident that I won't become a prey because my father was there. After his demise, it was like the covering had been taken away. And sincerely speaking, one of the hurdles that a widow or orphans go through is that when that covering is gone, many people begin to talk to you anyhow they want to talk to you. Someone who has never ever thought in his life that will ever call you to tell you to do this for him will call you to do it and will tell you to do it in a very downgrading way because they feel that you don't have, so you have to do it. If you don't do it, you won't have this. You get what I'm saying? So it was a challenge for me. At the point I started asking myself, am I really the person I used to think I was or not? Then my self-esteem started dropping. It started dropping. It dropped to the extent that you could just tell me nonsense and I'll go about. I'll just accept it and move. Because I felt that I don't have the power. I don't have the covering to make me fight that thing. Whew. See, if you see any young girl out there who has lost the person that was taking care of them, who has lost either their father or either their parents or either their mother, and that was the covering, please be nice to them. Be nice. They didn't choose that this happens to them. Some of you are very privileged that you grew up seeing both your fathers and mothers together. You grew up under their covering. They did many things for you. Even when everything was not there, there were things you never experienced, because nobody from outside will want to step into your family to do things the way they just want to do. They don't know what is happening to you. They don't know your experience. So they wouldn't just come into your life and do anyhow. Even if all you could afford to take in your house is to soak garri or drink water, nobody outside knows it. And because the father figure is there, people will not just move into your life anyhow. See, that is huge. That is huge. Almost everybody wants to put his mouth in your life. Almost everybody wants to step into your life. Very few people would come in because they are compassionate, and others will come in because this is the time to abuse the opportunity. They want to use you for free. They want to use you. They want to use you because they feel that anything I give this person, the person will take it. Some very set of people, I don't want to use foul words, they will call you. They will ask you to do a job for them. If this job is 5,000 outside, they will give you 500 naira. Please, if you do this and you are a child of God, it is evil. Stop it. Do not take advantage of people because they do not have the covering, the supposed covering on them, and you misuse the opportunity. I am not saying that you must pay the 5,000 naira, but you can give them something reasonable that will make them solve some needs, especially if these people are not coming to your house to ask for food, especially if these people are not coming to your house to ask for anything. They do not ask you for money. You don't call someone to work for you, to do so many things for you, then the next thing you are thinking of doing is to pay the person peanut. Some of you will use them for free. Use people for free. I am sincerely not happy with this. I am sincerely not happy with this. And this is why I am sharing this video. If you do this, please don't do it. If you did it from a place of ignorance, please stop it. Maybe because you grew up having both parents alive, you have never lost someone so dear to you, or the person that has been providing everything, and you don't understand the pains of these people. Please, today I am telling you, please stop it. Don't do it. It is evil. It is bad. Pay people the wages. If you cannot afford to pay them, maybe you know that this job is 5,000 outside and you do not have up to 5,000, and you see that this is the person you know who does not have anything to do now, that is just being idle. You feel like, okay, calling them. Don't do as if you are doing them a favor. You actually needed the service. In fact, they are the ones doing you favor because you were supposed to pay 5,000 outside. So if you meet people like this, if you cannot pay them well, you can beg them, please, I'll pay you 2,500 or I'll pay you 3,000. You still know that you saved some money. But some of you will use them for free. Then you give them 500 naira. What cannot do anything for them when you know that they are going to support their mother, they are going to support their siblings, or they are even going to support themselves in the school? Please, don't do it. So that was my experience. At the point I had to pray to God to help me, so I will come back to myself. I didn't want to be rude, but I wanted to draw the line. You do not cross this. This is the limit I can take. This place, no. For me, it is a no. I am not okay with this. Please, you can do this around me, but this particular thing, don't do it. And that was how I started regaining my self-esteem. I began to be more expressive. I knew who I was. So I began to tell myself who I knew I was, and things started becoming better. I know that this is my experience, and it is not totally the experience of everyone out there, but I said I was sharing my experience. While I might think that this was too much for me, there are people that I met that their experience was almost times 3 of mine. I cried all through when they were sharing with me, and it was hard. So please, if you're going through any of this, my heart goes out to you. God will help you. God will continue to comfort you. And what I will tell you is that do not ever forget God. See, If the Bible says that God is the father of the fatherless and the husband of the widows, see, just believe the Bible. Hold on to it. If you are a Christian, I know that you will see it come to pass in your life. Continue to hold on to it, and the word of God will become a reality in your life. There are things you need to do also. If you notice that people want to take advantage of you, kindly pull out of that environment. If you don't pull out and you allow them to keep taking advantage of you, at a point you will become a shadow of who you truly are. You will begin to accept the things that you are not. You begin to live the things that you are not. If they say something negative about you, if you cannot tell them back how it is not who you are, maybe you feel that if you give the answer it will be rude, or maybe you feel that if you give the answer they will feel that you are being rude, go back to your room, lock yourself in that room and pray about it. Pray it out. Pray yourself out of it, because you are not that negative person they said you are. You are just a victim of circumstance. And if God took your father or he took your mother away, it means that he is going to be there to fill that vacuum. Just believe him. Sometimes you'll be privileged enough to have people that will come into your life and they will be there filling the gap. I would love to say that some of the people I met in life that were so kind and nice, they were even the people that did not know my father. I remember when I was applying for my undergraduate program, one of the men that attended to me just saw my name and he said, "Are you the daughter to late so?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Get your credentials and bring them to me." So many people that were not even very close to us showed us a lot of kindness. And even some that were very close to us were so amazing. Only very few people, I must say, took advantage of us. Only very few people. And to all those that were very amazing and are still amazing, I pray for you that anywhere your children go to, many people will rise up for them. Many people will be there for them. Even when your eyes is not there, they will always find help. When they need help, God will open doors for them. Sincerely speaking, for all the good things you did, I learned a lot of things, and I learned to be more subtle, and I learned to be more kind, because I found that there are kind people, there are amazing people out there. I learned to do better. I learned to express myself better with people. I learned to go about things better, because I met people like this in my life. And sincerely speaking, God will continue to reward you. All the people that knew me before it happened, and the people that did not know us and extended their hands of fellowship, God bless you. So why am I sharing this video? I am sharing this video for you to understand that everyone out there who has lost a loved one, especially at their prime, when the people that they lost are supposed to be taking up responsibilities in their lives, they are going through something. It is inhuman and unkind of you to take advantage of these people. If you feel that you want to support them, do it from your heart. If you want to support them by giving them something to do for you before you pay them the right way. Don't overuse them and pay them peanuts. It is wrong. The irony is that some of these people that do this are very vibrant in the church. Please. The Bible says, "Let your light so shine before men that they might see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven." Don't cheat them. Pay them their wages. Give them what they have worked for. And God will also help you and bless your children. There will be battles that you will never fight in your life because you have been kind to the people that are helpless. There will be battles that will never come near your children because you were kind to the people that were helpless. If there is an opportunity for you to help someone that is helpless, do it from the bottom of your heart. Sometimes not because you just want to help them, but because you are thinking of your children, but because you are thinking of how God will show mercy to your children tomorrow. I hope I have not turned to become a preacher, but I feel that this video will be of help to many people, and this will be suiting to the people that are going through this challenge. To every widow out there, may the Lord continue to strengthen you. To every orphan out there, may the Lord continue to strengthen you. May the Lord continue to bless you. May the Lord continue to take away adversary from you. And may every purposeful dream you've ever had in life, may the Lord direct your steps to the path that you achieve your dreams. Thank you so much for watching this very emotional video. I hope that next time I will come with another interesting video. If you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe, click on the bell icon so you are always notified of the videos that have been uploaded on this channel. Thank you for being around. Have a nice day and stay blessed. Bye.